Hey everyone, welcome to the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Today's special guest joins me from Chicago, Illinois. He's got a new album he's been working on that should be coming out later this year, but you may have heard him from his previous releases, Ritchie, which was a single that came out in August of last year, and also an album called Runaway with Jungle Green. I kind of just gave away the name, but it was produced by Jonathon Rado from Foxygen. Before we start the episode, please make sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And on that note, please welcome Andrew Smith from Jungle Green.
Dude, let's get this bread. Let's go.
Let's get this bread. All right, I'm sitting here with Andrew Smith from Jungle Green. Thank you for joining me for an episode of On That Note. I heard about you through Kevin Basco, Rubber Band Gun. He sent me a good handful of really talented artists to check out, and you were one of them. I was excited to listen to your single Ritchie, which came out August of last year. And after doing some deep diving into your music and kind of the history of Jungle Green, I read that you, like a few years ago, posted a bunch of flyers around Chicago with your email address basically saying, hey, anybody who reads this, if you want music, hit me up on this email and I'll send you some music. What was your thought process when you first got your very first email back saying that somebody wanted to hear your music?
Yeah, man. Well, first, thanks for having me, Parker. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Big fan of the program. Big fan of Rubber Band Gun. You know,
He's a great guy.
he's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good one. But yeah, to answer your question, the question was what
was your thought when you got your first response back?
Oh yeah, that was cool. I mean, I wasn't you know, I was kind of an experiment to see if people would respond. I was just so like I was really kind of bitter at the time and kind of burnt out because I was like trying to I felt like I was kind of busting my butt to like get shows and like get people to notice my shit, and we couldn't get a show to save our lives, and nobody was really paying attention, and I was kind of like, I need to try to maybe do something that people aren't really doing, which is like, putting up flyers. These days it's like, yeah, I just wanted to do something that no one else was really doing, to try to just like stir up some attention, whether good or bad, and it's like, I didn't really care if people responded or not. I mean, I did want them to, but like, even if people were not feeling it or thought it was lame, I didn't really have anything to lose because there was no one paying attention anyway, So there's like nowhere to go when you're at the bottom. You can only go up. So yeah, I mean, I was really happy that as many people responded as they did, because I would tell people about this idea and a lot of them were kind of skeptical. So it felt really cool. Does that sort of answer the question?
Totally. It does.
Okay.
That's
So that was a
interesting.
long answer. Sorry.
No. I wanted to ask you about that just because I love talking to people who have kind of this like go getness attitude, like you're gonna go get it. And you didn't wait for people to come and find your music and just like put it on some random website and hope someone finds it. Like you seeked out this opportunity.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so much of the art entertainment industry is just like you like kind of rely on other people to make stuff happen for you, and when that's not really happening, you kind of have to like figure out how to make shit happen, by yourself. So it's like, yeah, that was just kind of, I got that idea really from this other Chicago guy named Willis Earl Beal, who used to live here, and he inspired me to do the flyer thing. He was doing that a lot, like maybe 10 years ago. And but he wasn't really doing it for his music. He would put up like flyers for like he wanted like a girlfriend and stuff.
Oh man.
Dude, you should check that out. I'll send you a link to an
Yeah.
article. But yeah, he was the one who inspired me, and I saw kind of what he was doing or what he had done a while back, and I was like, this is so cool. And like, no one's really doing this right now, and you know, I'm I'm sick of thinking about Facebook and Instagram likes. Like I'm gonna take it to the streets, see
Yeah.
what happens, motherfucker.
I was about to say, I'm sure in an age where everyone was getting the Facebook invite to the concert that, you're
Dude,
saying
yeah,
yes, no, or maybe to, it must have been refreshing for people to find this random thing that they're like, oh, this was meant for me to find this flyer
yeah,
right now and find this music.
dude, yeah. That was the goal. Like, yeah. There's just so much like go to this website, follow me on this social media, but it's like kind of just like a weird sketchy flyer that just like lists an email and not a whole lot of information. Like that's that's the stuff I really like. I really like the kind of the weirdos who do things like that, and I like having to kind of work to get information on things. So you know what I mean? That's kind of intriguing too. I I debated whether to just like do that and not have social media and just kind of make it a more mysterious thing, but didn't end up doing that. But yeah, I do think that when we live in an age where everything's just super accessible and you don't really have to work to get the information you want, it's kind of fun to kind of you know have a little mystery behind something.
Yeah, there's a payoff that comes along with finding something that is new and, maybe has, like you said, some mystery to it. And I'm sure that a lot of people were led to your catalog because of that. I think that's really cool. And, people
Hell
want to
yeah.
people want to be part of a community, and there's a communal aspect between, or not only between artists, but between artists and their fans. Like, that's why they have fan clubs and people enjoy the lore of a band or an album.
Yeah, man, it's fun. It's like honestly really fun to kind of, be in on something that it seems a little secretive. So like I really like stuff like that too. Uh I used to, there not a ton of people do it, but there are like some artists I really like that, it'll be like, send $10 in the mail and I'll send you some music in return. Like like this guy Jandek does that. And another guy who I'm friends with, Ben Shot Ray, does that. And yeah, I just like that stuff. I like kind of getting back to simpler times.
Yeah, exactly. And we were just talking about kind of the communal aspect of things. I've noticed, especially after interviewing Rubber Band Gun, Kevin Basco, and him giving me, like people like you and Gold Star, who I actually just
Yeah,
interviewed.
dude, I was here. It was in our apartment.
Oh, no way. Like you were in the other room?
Yeah, yeah. I was just in my room listening to it.
Oh, that's taking notes. And you're like, oh, what's he going to ask?
I was like, how can my episode be better than this one?
How can you beat the atoms?
Yeah, that
That
was the
was,
that was the plan.
well, so far so good.
Yeah, who's winning so far?
I'll reveal it at the end of the episode. How about that? We'll see how you do on the last five.
Yeah, it ain't over. You're right. You're right.
But it's cool that you guys have somewhat of a community, like between you, Kevin Basco, Gold Star, Jonathan Rado. Lemon
Right.
Twigs. Like you guys all have this
Yeah.
kind of loose network, and it's really cool to like uncover that as I learn about your music. Is there like what would you have any advice for anyone who's looking for that kind of community, looking for artists who, have a similar sound or just have a great support system? What would
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I met a lot of those people through the internet. Like in 2013, I sent Rado my music via Facebook, and
had you met him
that
before?
I had never met him, but I was a Foxygen fan. I saw them live, and I really liked them a lot. And I just wrote to him on Facebook Messenger, or I don't even know if there was Facebook Messenger at the time. It was just Facebook. Just sent him a message and was like, "Hey, I really like your music. I have this. I had like a 4-song EP, and I one of the songs was a cover, so I hadn't. I didn't really have. I basically had 3 songs to my name, but he responded and was really cool, and then asked me to open for Oxygen for 2 shows in New York. And there were a few more that they were going to do, but Sam broke his leg, so they had to cancel them. But that was crazy too. And then so yeah, I just kind of like met Rado, went from Facebook to real life, and then kept in touch through the years. And like Kevin started touring with Foxygen, and that's how I met him. And then my other homies here in Chicago, I kind of met through just like school and so like just like weird party kind of meetup kind of stuff. And yeah, but I would say as far as advice goes, just like reach out to people you really admire, and just like tell them how much you admire them, and send them your music. Um, and chances are they'll, if they're cool, they'll write back.
Yeah, you should take that leap when you can. My dad always says if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Dude, totally, man. It's like, yeah, you don't have anything to lose by just like doing things like that. Like, yeah, someone's gonna say no. Like, dude, I straight up just send emails to people all the time, just trying to promote my group's music and my like own solo music. And yeah, most people don't respond, but like 2 out of 50 might respond, and that's like, that just kind of keeps me going. So yeah, just like hit up people on the internet, and you know don't take it personally if they don't respond, but like try to yeah, try to like reach out to people you look up to. That's what I did.
Yeah, that was a lesson for me to learn when people are like, "How do you find guests for your show?" I'm like, "Well, I send a bunch of invitations and like some people get back to me." You're
Dude,
like,
yeah, that's the thing, man. Yeah, like so many people are not going to get back to you, which can be frustrating and discouraging sometimes. But like for yeah,
yeah,
like I
you
said,
can't take
like
it personally.
no, you can't take it personally, because at the end of the day, it's just like a stranger writing to someone. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have no prior relationship, but like yeah, someone's gonna respond, even if it's like 1 in 100, and that's when that happens. It's a really good feeling.
So I'd love to ask you about working with Jonathon Rado from Foxygen. He produced your album "Runaway" with Jungle Green, which is a great
Yeah.
album. It,
Oh,
it
thank you.
sounds, yeah, it sounds beautiful. Just like the production of it is awesome. Did you learn
Yeah,
anything working with him that really sticks out to you today?
dude. Yeah, he did a great job, and it was really a treat. And you know he's such a great producer, and it was yeah, I feel really lucky to have been able to do that. And but things that I learned, Honestly, I never really worked in a studio before. I've always like home recorded my stuff, so that it was just kind of I can't think of like a specific thing, but just kind of like seeing how a studio operates and um sort of watching him do his thing on the mixing board and with all the instruments and like gear. It was just kind of cool to see um what went down, because I've only worked like on my computer and on a 4 track before, so it was just kind of neat, just like watching him do his thing. I'll have to think about that more though. I don't know if I have like a specific thing in mind right now.
Was it intimidating at all, like being in a big studio after going from, your bedroom?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I was pretty nervous, and I was also. This is like me giving you too much information, but I was like in a really weird place mentally, just kind of going through a lot of anxiety, and was in a relationship that wasn't a great fit, and I wish I wish I could go back and do that again and be in a better place mentally, but it is what it is, but I was intimidated for sure. I was scared that I was gonna not be able to kind of to choke and not be able to perform very well. And yeah, it turns out, I did okay. But
Yeah.
I wish I could go back and be in a better place, and I feel like I would have really shined, But it was really fun. I'm really grateful.
How did you overcome that anxiety? Because anxiety in general is already awful, and then put yourself in a new intimidating situation where you have to perform for people that maybe want to impress. Like, you want to do a great job, and you want to do great not only for them but for you and for this whole project. Like, how do you
Dude,
overcome that
definitely.
anxiety?
Well, now I like um do a lot of things differently than I did now. I see a therapist and take medication, but back then I wasn't handling it very well, and that's what really sucked. I think I kind of coped with the anxiety back then by like kind of getting drunk sometimes, which is not healthy. Sorry to turn your podcast into
No, 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 no.
something dark, but
No worries. This is
but but uh but yeah, to cope with the anxiety, I didn't handle it very well back then, but luckily I was somehow able to kind of get my shit together to record. But yeah, yeah, but I was really nervous about going there. I'm surprised I was able to kind of handle it as best I could back then. But yeah, I think I don't know. I was lucky, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't handle it very well. Is my answer, I guess.
Well, it's funny that people have this stigma or this idealization of the tortured artist or the
Dude,
starving artist.
totally.
And it's like, you don't have to be that. And in fact, most people are probably more creative and more productive when they're genuinely happy and like
Dude, totally,
content with
man.
their life. You don't have to be this tortured soul to create good art.
Dude, absolutely, man. I would like, dude, when you're like really anxious or depressed, like it's really hard to just like concentrate for me. Like I can't get things done. And yeah, that the whole tortured artist thing is total bullshit. Dude, it's funny you bring this up because I was thinking about this last night. There was a kid I went to high school with who I really looked up to. He was a couple years older than me, and he was like in a band, and he kind of like walked around like he was really cool and girls really liked him. And I don't know, I just really looked up to him, and he kind of wore that tortured artist uh, kind of persona, and I in turn, like, looking up to him, tried to follow that. And I like think back and I'm like, that is such a fucking lame way to be. Like, no one wants to hang out with that person, you know? No one wants to hang out with the guy who's like, oh, my life is so hard, you know, like, I'm so miserable. And it's like, bro, you fucking like live in like this fancy house, and you're like rich ass mom and dad, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking of the kid who I'm talking about, but
Right,
like,
right.
dude, it's like there are fucking people out there who are like, you know, like living on the street and shit. You know, it sounds like, you know what I mean? It's like you don't have anything to complain about. You know what I mean? It's yeah, the whole tortured artist thing is dumb, but you know, and being happy is a lot more fun for you, but also the people around you who have to deal with you. You know what I mean? No one
Yeah.
wants to be around a Debbie Downer. You know, at
No.
least I don't. It's not fun. It's really annoying, and just kills the vibe.
Yeah. Gratitude is the attitude. And people want to be around. Uh,
Dude, I like that. Gratitude is the attitude.
I definitely didn't make it up. I don't know where it came from, but it's a good one.
Parker, you got a lot of wisdom.
Well, I am
How
108
old are
years
you?
old. I'm 24.
Dude, you're like speaking like a 30-year-old right now. I'm loving it.
Well, it's all the years of terrible mistakes and
Dude,
I
I
don't know.
feel you, man. Dude, I want to hang with you, man.
Hey, let's do it. I'll fly to Chicago or you can come to
I'm
LA.
going to LA later this month.
Are you? Like the
Yeah.
end of February?
Yeah, you want to hang out?
Yeah, come on. Why are you coming over here?
I'm going to Rado's studio.
Oh,
But
whoa.
not for him. He's not going to be there. But our friend Rias is Rado's assistant. He makes awesome music too, dude. You should interview him if you want.
Yeah, yeah, send me his
Rias
stuff.
Raid, dude. He is fucking rad. But anyway, he is kind of living there, and because Rado's not going to be there, he's recording his own music, and I'm playing drums on it.
Fucking cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, dude, we gotta hang. Do you like sushi?
I love sushi. Let's do it. I haven't,
Yeah.
I didn't have sushi for the first time until like 2 or 3 years ago. And it blew my
Oh
mind.
man.
I like got a whole platter of like everything you really could get and
Oh
just
yeah,
to see what
dude.
I liked. And now I'm a big fan.
Are you from LA?
No, I grew up in Atlanta and I moved out
Oh,
here for acting
did,
actually
oh, that's cool.
about 5 years ago now. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I should be interviewing you. That's
No,
fucking
yeah,
cool.
this interview is really taking a turn here. I
Dude,
always
I'm the interviewer now.
yeah, the tables have turned. I always appreciate when people ask me questions just because, I put the time into thinking about what I want to talk about. And then they ask me
Dude,
something
hell.
like, what are you listening to? And I'm like thrown off. I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I listening to? I don't know.
Yeah, dude, you're a cooler guy than me.
I don't know about
Um,
that.
Dude, you're from Atlanta. That's cool. I don't know if you'll know this town, but well, you probably will. But I have family who live outside of Atlanta in a town called Roswell.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't go too often. It's probably, what, 30 minutes outside, 40
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
outside?
yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Smyrna, if you know where that is.
I don't know where that is. Is that nearby?
They're all, yeah, all those cities are kind of like 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, and we all just
Oh
say we're
wow.
from Atlanta because,
Hell
we
yeah. No,
pretty much are.
I feel you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude,
But
that's cool, man. I like it. I'd like Atlanta.
have you been there? Like, have you toured there at all?
I've been there. I've never played a show there, but I have played in Athens, Georgia, at the Georgia Theater, and
Wow, that's
that's
awesome.
yeah, that place is sick.
Athens is a big music town. Everybody knows Athens for, a place to go see a show.
Dude, yeah, have you been there before?
I went once in my adult life with my roommate who actually went to Georgia, and
Oh, cool.
he showed me the whole college experience because I didn't really go to university, and he went, and we both went back to Atlanta, and he was like, "Oh, like let me take you to a game. I'll show you what it's like tailgating and all
Dude,
this stuff."
what did you think?
Well, even though I went and it was like the slowest, least populated tailgate it could have been, I was still a little overwhelmed. I was like, Jesus, like
Yeah, dude,
this is
I
interesting.
yeah, it's not my vibe, but it's a cool thing to kind of maybe observe for a weekend.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I went to a school kind of like that for a year and a half, and it just wasn't a good fit. I'm not into the whole. I don't really like the Greek life mentality that somehow seems to encapsulate the entire school. You know what I mean? But um, but yeah, dude, that's cool. Yeah, Athens is sick. I love that place. And B-52s.
Right.
You got REM,
Deer Hunter, I learned that recently.
Deer Hunter. You got
Bradford Cox is from
of
Athens.
Montreal.
They're from Athens?
I believe so, but don't quote me on that.
I just assumed they were from Montreal, but that must have been a
Dude,
silly
they're
idea.
from Georgia. I think they're from Athens, honestly, or maybe Atlanta. But
I'll have to look that up. That's cool.
dude, yeah,
So how
yeah.
do you
But
feel about music, like school for music, since you went to college? Where did you go?
yeah, I went to music school for a little bit at University of Massachusetts in Amherst, Mass. But it wasn't a very good fit, so I dropped out and went to community college. But going to school for music, well, you know, if you're into that stuff, it's very cool. I was going to school for percussion performance. Um, I was doing that because in retrospect, because I was a drummer and I kind of had a lot of people from the academic world telling me if you want to be sort of taken seriously, you need to try to play what is offered in academic situations like jazz and classical. But I don't think that's where my heart really was. And but I would say if your heart's in it, dude, it could be really cool. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to some people who have gone to school for music and some people who haven't, and hearing the differences. I mean, I guess, Kevin Basco he went
Berkeley,
to
right?
Berkeley, yeah, and another person I interviewed, Ursay, he went to Berkeley, and they both said
Mm,
the same thing about it, which was that for some reason there seemed to be this mentality of when you were there and you had like a major, that's what you focused on, and there wasn't really an emphasis on people who wanted to do everything themselves for
mm,
like their own music. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to write, they wanted to produce, they wanted to record and release this stuff,
hell
and
yeah.
there wasn't really an emphasis on that one man band kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah. I can't speak on how Berkeley was, but definitely at University of Massachusetts, it was very like narrow-minded and didn't really offer a whole lot besides kind of what you would find at any standard music school, I guess. But I would have flunked out if I had stayed anyway because I was not into school at the time, and I failed my music theory courses and my ear training. I would have flunked out probably or had to switch a major, but my heart wasn't there at the time. And now that I'm older, it would be cool. I like think about that now, where it's like now that I'm 28 now and a little more motivated, and I like learning more than I did when I was 18. Like it would be cool to. I do want to take some classes like music theory. So yeah, school is cool. I like school.
Yeah, school is cool.
We got it. We need to tell all the listeners, whoever's listening, school is cool.
I don't want to tell anybody to drop out. Don't take my advice, guys. But
No, I went back to school. I got a degree. It just took forever, but I yeah, do school if that's what feels good. Don't be ashamed. A lot of musicians, I feel like maybe feel like maybe school isn't the cool way to go, but I do it, man.
it's different for
Steely Dan went
everyone.
to Bard.
I didn't know that. One of
Yeah.
the
Did you?
greatest rock bands ever.
Yeah, man. Did you go to school, college?
I did not. I did a couple years basically on online school just to work towards a degree. And even
Yeah.
then, I was actually doing pretty okay until math online happened.
Oh
And
no.
that shit is not easy. I'm not good at math already. And then having to do algebra online and not be able to like ask questions very
Dude, I feel
easily
you. I feel you,
was
man.
a nightmare. And I just didn't really want to do it anymore.
Dude, yeah. I've taken a few online classes in my day, and I always preferred the in-person ones because yeah, I found like online it was just a lot harder. Like you had to just do more work versus like just showing up and being in a some sort of lecture. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel you, man. I'm not good at math either.
On English and history and things like that, I could cheat a lot easier though, because you can just look up the answers. But
Dude,
math,
yeah, yeah.
there's no way to look up some equation online. Like you're not gonna find the
That
exact
is
right answer.
dude, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel you. That is true. It is much easier to cheat, uh, which I have done in my online
We don't
classes
condone
too.
any cheating on this show.
No, cheating is not cool, but sometimes, if things are not looking good and you're going to get a bad grade, maybe, every now and then it's okay.
You got to do what you got to do
We're
every
only
now and then.
human.
Yeah, forgive and
Exactly.
forget.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
that's gonna take us over to the last five, where I'm just gonna ask you five quick questions, and then we'll
Oh,
be done here.
yes. Not, well, not yes. Like I want to be done. Like I'm excited. I made it this far. This is cool.
Yeah, you have made it this far. You're on the final leg here, and then I'll let you know who is better, you or Gold Star, Gold Star.
The big moment. Yeah, I'm
The
ready.
big moment everyone's waiting
A
for.
lot's riding on these five.
That's right. I'll be taking meticulous notes of your answers.
Okay, cool.
Question number one is in the studio or playing live?
Playing live, it's more fun. I really like it, and in the studio, it's cool. But um, granted, I've only been to the studio one time in my life, but there's a lot of waiting around, and it can be kind of nerve wracking. I think so. I like playing live. But that's nerve wracking too. But I
Certainly
don't know.
is.
But playing live is just it's just more exciting for me. It's yeah, I really enjoy doing that.
Great answer. I love the ability to create something completely new on a whim, like in the studio. I mean, if you're going to
Mm-hmm.
like a real studio and you're paying for it, you probably have the songs written. But
Mm-hmm.
just in general, when I think of in the studio, I consider that to be like if you're in your bedroom and you're recording as well, like demoing songs. So that's why I particularly like that. But you're right, like you won't get a rush like a live
Yeah,
experience anywhere else.
dude, playing live is so much fun. Yeah, you do. At least I do. I get this high when I'm doing it. It's just kind of well, our show is a very physical thing, and I'm doing a lot of moving around and climbing on things and stuff, and it does feel like a sort of in a not to sound too corny, but a tension release, and I'm able to sort of uh, act out. Uh, this sounds weird, but sort of act out like my fantasies, like like off stage, I can be pretty shy and kind of timid, but like on stage, I'm able to sort of like be this kind of grandiose kind of machismo type person, and it just feels kind of like an alter ego that's cool to tap into sometimes.
Yeah. Do you feel that character or whatever persona kind of coming on, like, as the day of the show rolls on? Like, do you kind of have a process of getting into this, or does it just sort of happen?
Sort of, yeah. I like before the shows, I like to be alone for a while and kind of just like warm up, but also sort of mentally prepare. But it is kind of like I'm able to sort of kind of play pretend a little bit, and um, it's yeah, it's kind of my opportunity to sort of like be the person that I have kind of sometimes wished I was in the past, but had a lot of nervousness and with just being uncomfortable. Uh, yeah, it's kind of like a more kind of showy version of who I am, and it's fun. You know,
That's interesting
it's
that,
like acting.
yeah, I was literally just about to say, I mean, that's how I felt
Like
when I
you like that.
first, yeah, when I first started acting. And I started out on, theater, like on the stage, and it's way different from film when it comes to that like immediate gratification or that pressure. Because I mean, the audience you have on a film set is just the film set and you have multiple takes. But, if you're on a stage, that pressure really builds up. And it's funny how, I mean, I was also a very shy kid. I didn't really like get out of my shell too much. But when
Yeah.
I would act on stage, it was like none of that mattered. And I don't know why it was so easy for me to like check in with that part of myself that is totally vulnerable and totally okay with being vulnerable in front of like 1,500 people. Whereas, take me off the stage, I'm like nervous to even talk to some cute girl or whatever.
That's how I feel too sometimes. I mean, like I've gotten a lot better about it, like being a little more confident and just feeling better about myself in recent years. But yeah, I there are a lot of like social situations where I just feel like pretty heavy anxiety if I don't know the people there, or just like I just like will feel generally like pretty uncomfortable. So it is like a way to sort of tap into a like the more confident version of myself. And it's weird that like I can't have a tough time tapping into that when I'm like not performing, but it's fun. I'd like to meld the normal version of myself and the stage persona together a little bit more as time goes on.
Right. It's a good balancing act.
Yeah, man, definitely. But like talking to girls is scary as hell.
It's scary,
Uh,
very scary.
and it's scary. And just talking to people can sometimes be scary if you don't know them very well. So yeah, when I'm on stage, I'm doing crazy shit. I'm climbing on things. I'm untying people's shoelaces and walking all over the floor. And it's like it's like it just feels really good.
Yeah, that sounds really fun, untying people's shoelaces in the audience.
Yeah, I love doing that. I love untying. I don't ever want to touch touch people without consent, but I do kind of make, maybe I shouldn't do this, but an exception with untying people's shoelaces.
Yeah, that's a pretty harmless action, I'd think.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. And yeah, sometimes I'll do like a lot of things with feet, but we'll try not to go above the feet where I'll like tap on people's feet and shit. But yeah, that the shoe tying is it's just fun.
I love it. All right. Well, question two is, what is a perfect album front to back?
The Strokes, first two albums, Is
Oh,
This It
really?
and Room on Fire.
Wow. So both of them. Do you think they're equal or do you think one is better?
Dude, they're both so good. I honestly kind of like Room on Fire more personally. It's just kind of more my
It's a hot
style, but
take.
Dude, they're so good.
They
Yeah,
are.
they're perfect. Like I honestly can't think of many perfect albums because like, you know, even ones that are really good, there's usually a dud or two in there. But like every track on those albums I really enjoy and I never get sick of it. So and I was also listening to last night. Did a lot of stuff last night. I listened to this album by this dude Destroyer. Do you know him?
I do. Yeah.
The
Which
album's
album?
called it's called Kaput.
Okay. What's the cover? Because I've
It's
seen.
just like it's black and white and it's like kind of a distant shot of like
Is it like a lookout, like people looking
yeah,
out?
look,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, you know what's up. And dude, that album is so fucking good. Every song on that album is sick. So you know, I don't have as much of a relationship with it as I do with like the Stroke stuff, but dude, Destroyer Kaput. I mean, if we're talking like stuff I'm fucking with these days, like that album's really good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard awesome things. I've given him a listen a handful of times, and I don't think I've found the. I mean, I don't want to say I don't like him because I want to like him. You know what I mean? Do you have
Yeah,
artists
you
like
don't have
that?
to though.
I know, but I don't want to say I don't because I wouldn't say that. I just don't think I've found the right either album or song to introduce me to him that is kind of opens the floodgates. There's a lot of people like that for me where I have
Yeah,
to
man.
I have to find the one thing that I love that I keep coming back to get into the rest of it.
Yeah, I've definitely talked to people about him who are some people who are not into him, and I think a lot of the people who aren't say they really can't stand his voice, which I get. It's a very distinct voice and kind of it's pretty unique and yeah, it's you know I really like it, but yeah, dude, I feel like dude, give that album a listen again.
I will. I will give it a listen. Yeah. And I mean, the first two Strokes albums, you can't really go wrong with those.
They're really good.
How do you feel about their newest one?
I liked it. Yeah.
I love it.
Did you listen to it? Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
good.
I might like it more maybe because it's new, but I listen to that way more than I listen to any of their other stuff anymore.
Sure. Dude, yeah. I mean, I really there are some songs on that album that are awesome. Like Bad Decisions is just a great song. Adults Are Talking.
Adults Are
And
Talking is an
that's
instant
a great song.
classic.
Brooklyn Bridge to Chorus. That song's sick too.
hmm I love At the Door too.
Oh yeah, man.
Like, who would have thought we would hear a Stroke song with absolutely like no drums at all, just an organ and the voice? I'm like,
Right.
damn, this sounds
Dude,
amazing.
Julian Casablancas is he's such a great frontman.
Yeah, and he like barely does anything when he plays or when he sings. He's just standing there,
Yeah,
and
he's not really moving.
he's got such a persona though.
Yeah, and he's got like such a his voice is just so trademark, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he's a really good vocalist, I think, and songwriter.
Totally agree.
I think he writes a lot of the songs. Oh, excuse me,
I
sorry.
always wondered how they write their songs. I think on the new one they did some jamming with
Oh
Rick
really?
Rubin. He was like, just jam for like an hour before we start recording anything. And that's how they wrote The Adults Are Talking. They were just jamming
Oh wow.
and they hadn't done that in a while, is what they said. I was like, well,
Dude,
that's cool.
yeah. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, I have this songbook, Stroke songbook, and of like, is this it? And it says all like over every song, just like written by Julian Casablancas. I always thought that was really cool that he wrote all those songs himself.
That's interesting. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
know that because he never plays guitar or anything
right.
live. So I'm like,
That's the thing. I wasn't sure if he was just like the kind of the vocalist who doesn't really play an instrument,
right.
but I guess he does, or at least
Yeah.
knows how to write songs on an instrument. You know?
Yeah. I didn't know that. Good for him.
Yeah.
So, Question number 3 is who's your dream artist or producer to work with?
Oh man, alive or dead?
Let's go with alive, but then you can
Alive.
say someone dead if you want.
Okay, sick. um, Dude, alive. Did you say artist or producer?
Yeah, you like if you would want to collaborate with an artist or if you'd rather have someone like produce
Oh
an
man,
album, a Jungle Green album, you know.
yeah. Wow. Hmm. That's a great question. You know who I'd really like to work with, who is really cool, and like you definitely could work with him. You just need a lot of money to do it. Is Steve Albini.
Hmm.
Do
I
you know
know that
him?
name and I am blanking on why I know that name.
He lives in Chicago, and he's like been involved with so many kind of just heavier groups. Like he had a band called Big Black, and he produced a bunch of albums for like he produced like his biggest one is probably like Nirvana's second album, In
Okay.
Utero.
Yeah.
And but he did stuff with like the Jesus Lizard and stuff, and I think it'd be cool to make a pretty like heavy, noisy album with him because he's really good at kind of I think at kind of getting those just like really loud sound, like making a really aggressive music. So Steve Albini, and also it would be really fun to work with. Hmm, this is so tough. I mean, I'm trying to think of. Oh, it would be really cool to work with like One O Tricks Point Never or like
Oh.
James Ferraro. That would be really cool. Like those kind of just like cool electronic guys. Like that would be One O Tricks Point Never. That's my answer. Sorry, had to think about that for a while. That would be awesome.
Daniel Lopatin, I think is his name. I went down his rabbit hole over Christmas break. I was like
Dude, he's
checking out
awesome.
all his One O Tricks Point Never stuff, and he is sick. I wouldn't have guessed that that's who you would say, or Steve Albini, just given your music seems to be
Oh
not really
yeah.
in those realms. But I would like to see that collaboration.
Yeah, I love listen a lot of the stuff I've been listening I listen to these days, and oh sorry, I gotta turn my phone off. A lot of stuff I really enjoy and listen to, like as far as my record collection goes, don't really reflect
Right.
my music so much, but I would love to like uh, to make music like that. I just don't really know how, but it would be cool to work with Daniel because maybe he could help me do that.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite album or song or project of his?
Yeah, definitely, dude. Like Replica is a great album.
Yeah, that's the one that I've been listening to a lot.
Dude, that's a classic. And I mean, my favorite stuff of his is like Replica and before Replica, pre Replica, like Returnal. And also, he released like a bunch of like ambient, sort of like synth albums that he compiled into this like box set called Rifts, Rifts. And I love that stuff. I like listen to that all the time when I'm like working on shit here. It's sort of like what I use to sort of like relax, and it's really soothing, a lot of it. Some of it's kind of unsettling, but
Yeah.
dude, he's the shit, dude. He's like I'm amazed at how popular he is,
Me
considering
too.
the music he makes, because it's not like super accessible music, in my opinion.
No, I mean, even his most accessible stuff is still a little weird. And what's that song? Is it Nil Almieri or Albiari? That's on the first song on Returnal, I
Oh
think.
my god, yeah, dude.
That just sounds like a
It's
war
heavy.
zone. Yeah.
Dude, there's a song on that album called Stress Waves. Have you heard that?
If it's
Oh
on
my,
Returnal, I heard it once, but I don't
yeah,
listen to the
dude.
whole album once.
Such a beautiful track. Yeah, dude, he is the goat, man. I want to meet him, and I would love to work with him, man. Do you think he listens to the show?
Hey, maybe. If you're listening, Daniel,
We gotta
please
get him.
get on the show. I mean, I'm curious that how he got to work with The Weeknd. You know, like you said, like with how big he is, like he
Right.
got one of the biggest acts ever to be on his biggest song now.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I was talking with my roommate about this. Like the thing that we can think of is like for Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
because he scored it and The Weeknd is in that film.
Oh my God, he is in that film. I forgot.
So like that was maybe like the connection,
Right.
like he got
Probably.
linked up. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
That makes sense. Yeah. Shout out to him for his success. And I'd
Much
love to
respect.
keep. I know we do have to keep moving on just because my computer's about to die.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
But
sorry.
no, we only got 2 more questions. So number 4 is what's on your musical rotation right now,
Hmm. Destroyer,
right?
Kaput.
Kaput.
I mean, kind of some of the stuff we've already talked about, like Destroyer, Kaput. Been listening to like a lot of sick '90s, early 2000s singles, like Faith Hill, This Kiss, like that song
Wow.
rules.
Yeah.
Perfect pop song. Dude, just I've been listening to a lot of just like sporadic, really great pop songs from the last like 2 or 3 decades, like a couple of Oasis songs, like
Nice.
uh Don't Look Back in Anger. Dude, that song is
I
sick.
love
i've
that
just i've
song.
just been listening to like just sick singles, like, dude, Cheryl Crow, Soak Up the Sun, like, dude, I
Classic.
just listening to like just really good pop songs and trying to sort of learn from them as far as like how to write just a great song.
Wow. Well, those are definitely some throwbacks. Love Sheryl Crow, Shania Twain, Michelle
Shania is
Branch.
so good.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like a woman. You know that
Wow,
song?
wow, wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow, wow, wow. Yeah.
yeah. And huge shout out to Faith Hill. This Kiss.
I know. I love that song. I haven't heard that in a long time. I was probably like a child the last time I heard that song.
Yeah, pull it up, man. You're gonna love it.
I will. And the last question is going to be we're just going to go off what we were just talking about because I've asked people this before and I'm really curious what your answer is. What do you think in 10, 20 years, the radio station that plays nothing but like 2010s hits? What
Hmm.
will be some of the songs that are played on it? Because when you think about like the 70s station,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
only
right,
probably
right.
play like 60 songs on rotation and maybe a few
Hmm.
weird ones here and there. But obviously, there's way more than 60 songs from the 70s, even like hits. So, what would
Yeah,
be
dude.
some hits of the 2010s that will be played on the 2010s radio station in 20 years?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, you got like, I'm just thinking of some big hits of the last like of the 2010s. Like, dude, Ariana Grande, One Less Problem Without You, I think it's called, with Iggy Azalea. You got like, let's think, who else, man? Yeah, you got
I
your
think Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk
dude,
will be there.
absolutely, man. Adele, you
Definitely
know,
Adele.
Adele when we were young, like,
Probably
dude,
some Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, Taylor Swift. You might get a few kind of more indie artists. You got, yeah, Bon Iver.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's huge,
It's
Uh,
hard to imagine him having stuff on the radio, though.
yeah,
Even now.
yeah. That's true. That's true. That's a
But
good
maybe
point.
like I feel like there's gonna be some indie one hit wonders, that
Dude,
make
that'd be
it like
sick. I
that
would love to
X's and
see him.
O's song. Who's that?
What's
That X's
that?
and like X's and O's.
Who
You know
sings
that?
that? I don't know that one.
That's a great question. Who sings it? Elle King, maybe. I think that's her name.
I don't know them. Dude, I'm thinking like maybe as far as like indie gems, one hit wonders, you're gonna get maybe like that band Always. I really like that
Oh
song
yeah,
Dreams Tonight. Dude, that song is sick.
I don't know that one. I know
Oh my god.
Archie Marry Me or something.
Oh my god, dude, you gotta check out the song Dreams Tonight, man. It's like a perfect pop song. That song rules.
Dreams Tonight. I love a good perfect pop song. Just something
Oh
that
my
doesn't
dude,
miss.
it's straight up like perfect front to back. That song is sick. I don't really know the band to be honest with you, but I know that one song and I love it.
Dreams Tonight. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's gonna be on the radio, man.
That's the
Um,
one. You heard it here, folks.
and Charlie XCX, maybe she
Oh,
makes really good
definitely.
music too. Yeah, dude, she's awesome.
I feel like her music's kind of like a zeitgeist of right now, like this super heavy hyper pop sound.
Dude,
Like,
yeah. Dude, definitely like 100 gex and stuff like that,
yeah, shout out to 100
I feel
Gex.
like I feel like they would maybe be on there too, but I don't know.
Maybe like the indie 2010s radio.
Yeah, indie hour every Sunday night.
Indie hour. I like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
Well, thank you, Jungle Green, Andrew Smith, for coming on the show. That's going to be our time. I'd love to keep talking, but my
Thank you,
computer
Parker.
is about to die.
Dude, you're
Eh,
blaming it on the computer. Classic.
yeah, Apple, come on. Let's make a better computer with a better
Yeah.
life. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to shit on Apple like that.
Let's step it up.
But yeah, everyone needs to go listen to Jungle Green. Ritchie, your song that came out in August is fantastic. Runaway with Jungle
Thanks,
Green,
man.
produced by Jonathon Rado.
And
Great
new album. We finished our new album. Beat
Ooh.
mastered next month.
It's going to be mastered next month.
Oh yeah, baby! It's
Hell
a
yeah.
big one. It sounds a lot different than the other stuff. Punk energy. It's like Squeeze on bath salts.
Whoa. Squeeze on Basalt. That's a
Yep,
great album name right there if you wanted to name it that.
dude. We're gonna be calling it Jungle Green Will Never Make It.
Jungle Green will never make it.
Mhm.
A great follow-up to Runaway with Jungle Green.
That's right, baby.
Well, I'm excited for it. Can you announce a release day or do you not know that yet?
Don't know, but it will be self-released and it's going to be sick. And we're gonna be doing some sick shit with it, I think. And it's gonna be like Squeeze on bath salts, man. I'm telling you.
Well, you got me hyped for it. That sounds pretty awesome. You have to let me know when you're out here in a week or two so we can meet up for some sushi.
Absolutely, dude. I would love that. That would honestly be really fun.
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome. Andrew Smith, once again, thank you for coming on and talking with me about your creative process and overall
Thank you, Parker.
experiences as an artist. Yeah, and
You're the man.
hey, you're the man. Thank you again for coming on.
All right, peace and love.
Peace and love, Andrew. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, and you can even leave a comment down below to let me know who you're listening to. On that note, I'll see you guys next time.